What's up, guys out there, black folks? What's happening? Let's talk, black folks. Welcome to my channel. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk about us, who black folks really are. Like we the subject. We the subject. We everything. Let's just talk about for a minute who we are, like who we actually are. And there's so much to say about us. Like we so damn peculiar. We really are. And we got made that way, and then on top of it, we have a natural strength and beauty about our peculiarness, right? And all the beautiful stuff. Well, let's just talk about something about who we are right now that I just want to point some stuff out, to society and to the YouTube channel and wherever and whoever shared this video, share like, you know, Black people, we have, first of all, been the helping hand of every damn group in society, every damn group in the United States. And it ain't been that long ago. It's been like last week. It's been like last year. It's been an ongoing thing, Those who, are on my agenda, and we in the new voices of black media in the grassroots of our uprise understand we pull back from being so benevolent about other people because we understand what we're doing here and why we're doing it. Practicing the self-preservation so that we can be safe and take care of ourselves, because we've been in dire situation helping other people and being harmed and being left out in terms of good health and good choices, able to afford stuff. They actually came to the point where they're trying to lock the gate on us politically, you know. And this is a big slap in the face. And then practicing a soft genocide on a black man being shot by the police, other people being given stuff, and all of this. But who we are, we legitimize everybody's movement. That's who we are. But everybody got talking points about us that are not becoming, that are unbecoming and rude. I mean, we got some people with the ally ideology in terms of us, but then we got most people that's talking indirectly to us or about us, trying to tell us what we deserve, and we pay taxes. Wait a minute, mind you, black people pay damn taxes. We not tax exempt. We should be. I pay taxes. So you can just take black people's money and repay them for the taxes that you've taken from a group that should be non-taxed, that should be tax exempt, according to the way you handle groups who've been harmed by United States policy. They don't pay taxes. The Native Indians, so-called Native Indians, they're tax exempt because they were harmed, so to speak. At the same time, we were harmed and we spent longer time, and the Cherokees also owned slaves. But we're not tax exempt. We're not. We're not tax exempt. We pay taxes. So it's kind of crazy. No, it's real crazy for people to look at us and tell us what we deserve in terms of what has happened to us and actually who we are. An invoice in documentation. We were resourceful to make the nation wealthy and great and powerful and rich. As slaves, as as human beings, as a prophet, to even be, told that you're not human, so you can get used to the fact that you don't live like people. You are resourceful. You are a property. And we're now in 2021 explaining to people, which that's okay, we have to, and pushing the rhetoric to people who should know better than to oppose what's due to us by law and constitutional right. This is who we are. That's a slave politically. So, not only that, people use us to help them legitimize movements. You see, when President Donald Trump was in office, he was removing illegals, and they were in the camera crying. You know, the Arabs in Michigan was closing their restaurants down around Dearborn. Latinos, they were hiding in homes. I mean, some of the neighborhoods were so quiet. Where they live, where the immigrants live and all that. I remember. But black politicians stood in the face of that, and black citizens, which we told to stand down because they don't care about you. Once they get what they want from us, they're going to go back quietly to who they were. And they're not going to remember that black citizens stood up and politicians and saved your damn lives. Our politicians, I can name them: Eli Cummings, John Lewis, Maxine Waters. You see what I'm saying? Jim Clyburn, Sheila Lee Jackson. We can go on and on. Mayors and governors all over the place to stand, which we was trying to tell not to do that. That's the ideology we took in terms of being a Republican, because we understood the chessboard that we were on, which is very precarious. That wasn't our fight. To save immigration, black people stood in the face of that. Now you have black people standing, our icons, standing for Asians when they have tried and have pushed the narrative that we are the one harming Asians. Our politicians and our so-called civil rights leaders stand with you. And you have the nerve to put your mouth on me? That's racism. I should have a 1-800 number to call in case you decide to use rhetoric that's going to harm me in my country. Coming from slavery or descending from ancestors that were enslaved and that have not been corrected in terms of constitutional right. But this is a chessboard that we're on, because we in war, really. But we are going to win. We understand how to legitimize movements. We understand this. This is something we've done before. This is something that's been in our families. We have persevered to this point as black people, as a society, the American Negro. Got in the streets, fought, got watered down in holes, dogs bit, people hung on trees, houses burned, churches burned. Dr. King regime, where he was assassinated, we got immigration rights passed throughout benevolence. You know, people that were slaves are benevolent. We want to love. We want to bring folks to love. But now we understand that we should practice self-preservation. We want people to feel better because we know what it feels like to be without and to be harmed in terms of humanitarian rights. So you guys in your countries didn't have nice things like we have here in the United States of America. So we wanted people to say, okay, these people need things. Let them come. We thought like that. But when you got here, you want to buffer yourself as white people and continue a anti-blackism upon us as a community. And also put stores in the community to play a Jedi mind trick and use our government because you're not us. So our government is anti-black. Yikes. And it is. And you're not, so they'll let you do that as a chessboard to say, okay, we're not going to be in trouble because these people coming over here as brown people are going to be majority. It's going to be black and brown. So we're going to give them what they want, and they agree with who we are, and learn who we are and our talking points and our ideology. As long as they continue to be anti-black in terms of American descendant of slavery descendants, and that's what you've massively done, and you don't think we see it. A lot of you do it quietly, but it's really transparent. We get it, we get it, and you take our culture and you want your children to become whatever we were or have done to be successful, like rappers, sports players, actors, and you're mirroring the success and the legacy of the United States of America that we own as a culture. And you tell us we don't have any culture, especially the black people that are islanders and that are from Africa who oppose our concerns and our due. You need to mind your own business. Better yet, you should stand with us because you bite the hand that feeds you. This is real. That's what really it is. We're not in your country asking for anything. When it come down to Pan-Africanism, we created that to try to appropriate something between the both of us, and we got slapped in the face. Because we had, a lot of us learn throughout education that Africans, you are in tribalism until you're fighting each other and you got people colonizing your land that you should be concerned about, but you want to come, and I'm not putting you down, but a lot of you have a rhetoric toward us so much. I want to get the record straight, but you want to come here and partake in the wealth that we had to suffer for instead of fighting in your homeland, along with South Americans, along with a lot of people, East Indians, whoever you are, to come here and live in the first world nation as though you have been part of the building and the contribution of it. Not really. Not really. And to tell us, oh, Chinese built the railroad, the railroad. There's so many other things that happen in this country that's resourceful, and they did not build no railroads. They built some. They were in some kind of concentration camp. It can't compare that to slavery whatsoever. And it's an insult to even try to compare that to the American slave trade. My great grandfather was burned alive by the KKK. Just gonna say that. A lot more can be said. We end up with a lot of these people in our blood because of the mixing and our women being bedwitches through slavery. Are you sick out there? Are y'all crazy? But this is how heinous our government has allowed you to socially exchange. They haven't set the precedent that black people should be protected in terms of what the country sanctioned them to be as a group, and did not close the racial wealth gap. But we as people can't choose comfortably how to anchor. So we are docile in terms of power, and there's a power source over us that kind of points to what they want us to be, and we end up mirroring these attributes that are undesirable. But we are the winning culture. We taught them how to cook. Black men barbecue now. All these white men got barbecue grills everywhere in shops. We got Chinese people over here cooking soul food in every other restaurant, especially in Atlanta, having buffets and stuff, mirroring our techniques to survive, getting loans from our tax dollars, got a president giving them packages of protection. They were never harmed in this country, and this is not their country. We are natives, descendants of slaves or natives. The United States, we were born and bred in this country where even though we have groups of people, blood in us through mixing, we're not really African. We have African descent. We are the American Negro. And at this time, you as a society tried to win over us and shape us where we go to sleep about this and leave it alone and just die out in the society. Either kill each other, don't be healthy with doctors, apartments, or can't afford this and that and can't live right, so we die off. But now we're doing politics. And we're the winning team with the most substantial argument. And you don't understand that? White people who don't understand and call yourself supremacists and different things of that nature, you don't understand why we can be so intellectually inclined about this. We can read now, guys. Okay, we have been known to be some of the best scholars in the global diaspora. People use what we learn, what we invent, and come in contact with to actually make a nation in cushion. That's who we are. Remember the Tuskegee Airmen? Remember the guy who did the first sexual horror story? Everything we do, we end up raising it to top tier because we have a certain type of shaping, for one, to learn quick. It's a survival technique, but it's being used to give to other people. We thought of things to do in songs and musical things and gave culture to music. We're the face of entertainment in these United States, which you guys and other people are trying to take now, but you're mirroring how we done it and you want it for yourself. When you look at all these singing shows, you got people on the singing shows, everybody trying to sound like Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston's a black woman, American Negro. We have a culture. People trying to appropriate our culture to win where they have not been harmed in order to get there. A lot of our culture comes from pain and the fact that we had to build from nothing in terms of being that and where we were and are today. And you want to mirror that because you see it as a success. We have been given anything by government. Welfare is an insult. But now we stand for our liberties and what we're owed in terms of constitutional right. 40 acres in the mule and what equivalence to it. All these empires have made money off of us, banks, other groups, and we're giving allowances to Israel as black people paying taxes, descendants of slaves that pay taxes. We're not tax exempt. We pay taxes. We got Jews cashing checks for the Holocaust that happened in Germany, a historical hardship. When we are on the fields, or the killing fields of our harm, other people getting incentives, political incentives for their historical suffering, and we can't get it for America's original sin, slavery, so that we can shape our lives, and that's what we're going to do. But I just want to come here and talk about it and kind of analyze it because this is my choice, freedom of speech. This is my channel. I can do that. I can talk about what I want to, but this is not being foolish and talking about hip hop or who fighting or who doing that. We educating each other today. We rise. Black people, we are a sleeping giant. A lot of people don't know that, but we know it. Us know it. And enough of us know it where it gained traction. I'm sorry. And we are continuing on with this. And it's just kind of crazy. It's a lot crazy to see people talk to us the way they do is really insane. And to try to mirror who we are on a chessboard after using us through hiding behind Trump, our politicians and stuff, and now people stump Danny Glover and all you stumping for Asians right now. But we still leading the talking points, ain't we? We are the only ones that can legitimize a movement because we had to for necessary reasons. And you guys want to ride our coattails to be who we are and to experience what we've never experienced in our country. We're not going to allow people to push us to the side while we die socially, economically, politically, or be harmed and killed because the United States do not respect non-wealth. It is a science. But once we get correction, then the country and the society itself gets the memo and the president is set. And then we have better choices the way we should anchor ourselves in opportunity. This is real. And we stand. But thank you for joining me. I just want to come here and rant for a minute and talk about it and kind of go over some stuff. I'm King Harp. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll be back again. We can update the things on the channel, give y'all some, a little bit more entertainment or whatever. But we out here together. Let's proxy each other, black people, and let's continue to serve one another on top tier levels. Thank you for joining me. This is King Harp. I just wanted to be here 20 minutes. Thank you so much for coming in. And please subscribe and share this video. Thank you.